When you think about a video game, there's multiple ways that you can play the video game. You can play it on easy, intermediate, or hard. And oftentimes, I think the hard mode we choose because we want to challenge ourselves a little bit more. We think that maybe it's a more worthy pursuit if we are struggling a bit more. And the other side of this is that I think a lot of us kind of grow up associating struggle with attention, with value. And it's taken me a while to kind of recognize this in myself when I was growing up with caretakers who maybe weren't as emotionally available. The experiences of struggle and suffering were the things that got me attention and got my parents to slow down and pay attention. And so I think what I'm recognizing now is that there was an association made a long time ago that when you are in struggle, when you are in suffering, you get attention, and attention equals love a lot of times. And so, what I'm really contending with now is the last decade of my life has been full of a lot of transition, a lot of healing, a lot of upheaval. And what does it look like for me to now choose to struggle less in what I do, to suffer less, to try to live a little bit more on easy mode, to choose the path of least resistance, and to not believe that that makes me any less worthy? I mean, I think we're looking at a whole generation of women, specifically, are who I work with. So I'll speak specifically to that experience. But we're looking at a whole generation of women who were promised that you can have it all, that you can grind just like the boys do, that you can ascend to all of these levels. I mean, that's my story, anyway, is like ascending the corporate ladder and realizing that it wasn't fulfilling, that I felt incredibly disconnected from myself, that there was so much struggle involved in that process. And it just kind of left me feeling empty, hollow, disconnected from myself. And lately, I've been really trying to undo the conditioning that says the harder I work, the more worthy the pursuit is. And I think that's a lot of how the traditional productivity world works, how it operates. And I just really don't believe that. I don't think that that's accurate. And for women who experience burnout, whether it's from grief, trauma, overwork, ADHD, we have to find a better path forward. We have to find one that integrates ease and pleasure and joy, not just grinding all the time, not just hard work all the time. And so, in all of this, it's caused me to really pause and think about where I'm creating unnecessary suffering for myself, where I'm doing things the hard way when I could be doing them easier, where I can ask for help. I'm really working on untangling the hyper independence, the president of the I've Got It Club. I don't want it anymore. And yet, it's so hard to allow yourself to receive love and connection and support and belonging, especially when you are tethered to an old identity that says you can handle it all and that you can do it all yourself. So when I'm not living life on hard mode, I'm trying to allow more of that connection and support and love in without needing to be so independent around everything that I do.
Oof, yeah, there's so much in there I can relate to. I feel like the boss babe era really got our generation, and I obviously have a business and you have a business. It's wonderful when you can do something that maybe you feel more passionate about and like put it into the world. And I'm not here to say that that's wrong or bad or that achieving goals is wrong or bad. But like you said, if we're kind of grinding and white knuckling our way there, and there's never a chance to slow down and celebrate where you've gone, or if you're always just what's next, or I have to do more or be better, then to your point, it does feel hard and you are living on that hard mode. And that's kind of what I realized about my relationship 5 years ago is like I was living on hard mode in the relationship. Like I had a really still have a really safe, loving relationship. Yes, there were like hurdles like any other thing, but I was in hard mode in my head, analyzing things, judging things, jumping ahead to the future. What if we get a divorce like my parents do? Like everything was harder because of all of the stories and fears that were coming up for me. And then now, 5 years later, the same hard mode is kind of coming back with the way that I'm showing up in my business. I'm overthinking things and comparing and, worrying about the next step, and it feels just a lot harder than in the beginning when I was like, let's see what happens with this. Now there's all these pressures and expectations I'm placing on myself for it. And so, yeah, I just really resonate with that. And obviously, it's not easy to allow yourself to shift into easy mode, but I'm hoping that what you share today and some of the things you're learning in the Brilliance experiment can kind of help inspire or invite people to try some of their own easy mode patterns, if you will.
Yeah, I love what you shared about the relationship because ultimately, this is a story about regulating your nervous system and allowing your nervous system to feel safe. So it kind of doesn't matter if it's showing up in a relationship or a business. This is all the same pattern that we're carrying around with us into everything. And this is one of the reasons why I find it so interesting is that it's kind of like whack-a-mole. You might think, I've
Mhm.
gotten this taken care of in my relationship, so I'm good now, right? And then you start a new chapter of your life and it's like, whoa, there it is. Like it always comes back around because this is a matter of your body feeling safe to relax, to be present, to receive. And that is no joke when you experience trauma, when you experience hardship. Like, no wonder so many of us are living life on hard mode. Look at the world, look at how we're programmed and conditioned. But I think what I'm really interested in exploring is where are we creating this for ourselves that we can detach from it and we can start making different choices and then build connections and community around that to show each other, to teach each other. Because the way things are going right now is not working. It's not working for me anyway.